Hey guys, how's it going? So in this video, it's a very important high tide video talking about high tide as a long-term investment. I've been following this company when they first IPO'd a long time ago. Wait, hold on. What? It doesn't even show me the charts from back in the day? That is stupid. So yes, I've been following this company when it IPO'd. They started off at 35 cents, but I didn't find them until they were around 50 cents. When I originally invested in them, they had like 2 or 3 stores in Grass City. Now they have over 80 stores, and they have Smoke Cartel and Grass City, and they're growing as a business like big time, and their revenue generation has gone up dramatically. So every company has a story to it, and High Tide has as a long-term investment. If we look down 5 years down the road, High Tide could have couple hundred stores in Canada, and maybe some more stores in the United States, and a well-established e-commerce play in the United States, and it's generating $500 million, maybe $500 million a quarter of revenue through Canada and the US. I think that's a huge possibility. Let's look at Dollarama, right? If you invested into Dollarama, if you said in 2009, you were like, oh, I think the dollar store is going to be very successful, I'm going to invest a lot of money into the dollar store. If you went and you bought into Dollarama in 2009 because you think that Dollarama would have been a very successful company, you would have, made 1,500% return on investment, because the stock went from $3 to $51. Right now it's sitting at $57. But like I'm saying, Dollarama has to start out from somewhere. They started off with one store. I think right now, according to this press release, they are up to about Dollarama to open more than 600 stores in Canada over the next decade, and I think they have over like 2,000 stores, bringing the overall store count to 2,000. That is an update from his previous disclosed target of 1,700 stores nationwide in 2027. And think about this, right? Dollarama started off with maybe a couple stores 10 years ago, right? Like 10 years ago, they started off with a couple stores. Now they have almost 1,700,000 stores. High Tide doesn't need that many stores compared to Dollarama. I mean, everyone shops at Dollarama, that's true, but and they have a lot less competition than the dispensary business. But Dollarama is only in Canada. High Tide is in the United States. High Tide can be a global player. High Tide doesn't have to be just in Canada. So they are in the United States. They are in Canada. They're a worldwide company. Dollarama is just in Canada. Think about that. And they're valued at $17.68 billion. So 10 years from now, what do you think High Tide will be? I mean, there's going to be volatility along the way, sure. And there's a chance that High Tide could fail. But long term, if you're thinking about long term, I think High Tide could be much more valuable than what it is right now. Like 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, I think High Tide can be, a lot more valuable than what it is right now. But Loblaws, right? You got Loblaws started off as um, bread. Like I think they started off as a bakery, and now they are a major grocery store nations. They own Shoppers Drug Mart. Um, they own like casinos. They own like a lot of stuff. What does Loblaws own? You know, they own Superstore, Domino's, Independent City, Value Mart, ARZ Bakery, Wholesale Club, TNT, Real Canadian Liquor Store, Real Canadian Superstore, No Frill, Max, Extra Foods, and Shoppers Drug Mart. They own a lot, right? And they built that over a course of, maybe 20 or 30 years. Where do you think High Tide's going to be in 10 years, 15 years? Some people might not want to think that long or that long term. People probably I want to see the stock $10 by like next year. That could be a possibility, just depending on how well management execute, because they are in the MJ sector, and if legalization happens in the United States, the market could get overexcited and push the stock to $4, $5, $6. But there's no way that's going to. But the thing is, the company will need to do a reverse split because they need to. They need to list onto the Nasdaq, and short term, I don't think the stock is heading to $4, $5, $6. I mean, it could if rich people came in and decided to pump the stock to $4, $5, $6. Then yeah, absolutely. But I don't think big money wants to make a bunch of retail investors rich, like instantly. So there's going to be volatility. I think the stock price short term is just going to float between 70 cents to $1. It's going to just trade between 70 cents to $1 for like the rest of this year until some really good earnings come out. Then we can see it push to new levels, unless the company decides to do a reverse split to list on the Nasdaq, which is a big possibility in the near future. So just remember that. Just remember that that's a huge possibility in the near future. But the business should grow, and eventually I think the company should be valued at $2-3 billion in the future. Right now it's only valued at 537 million Canadian dollars, but I feel like in the future, like 2-3 years down the road, we can see High Tide sitting at $2 or $3 billion, unless management cannot execute and fails at the business strategy, and the stock could flop big time. Just saying, there's always that possibility. High Tide started off with Smoker's Corner, and then this is the like timeline of how they grew as a business. On December 17, 2018, that's when they first listed onto the Canadian Security Exchange, and then they got a big investment from Afria, and they got a big investment from Aurora. So both Afria and Aurora is interested in this company. They started up CBD City, and then now they have almost 80 branded retail stores across Canada. So this is a company that's been in business for at least 10 years now. So Roger Grove been with this company for over 10 years. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to grow his business. So I trust that he knows what he's doing, and I trust that he will grow his business over time. But and the stock price will reflect it over time. But we have to be patient. We gotta wait. So that's just the reality of it. Afria back in the day started at $1. Started at 75 cents on December 12, 2014. And it was just like flat for like 2 years, popped in 2017, popped really hard in 2018, got attacked by Hindenburg, and the stock went all the way down to $3.15, and then now it's back into a big bubble and back to all-time high. But as a business, they started off as a greenhouse. Now they have over 3 million square feet of greenhouses, and some indoor facility, and then international company, and now they're somewhat of a beer company. So yeah, they're a big company now. And that took time and a lot of big money throwing a lot of billionaires throwing money at Africa, because Africa got lucky. They used their capital wisely. Unlike Aurora, Aurora failed. But could Aurora recover in the future? It depends on Miguel. Like, if Miguel can successfully execute with the money he has on hand, the $500 million, $500 million of cash. They do have some debt. They need to turn profitability. But if Miguel can execute properly and turn the business around, we could see Aurora go back to its all-time highs again, hopefully, in the future. That would make, bank holders no longer bank holders. It takes a lot of execution, and it's a gamble on Miguel executing properly. But right now, Aurora is only valued at, I think, $1.8 billion. Afria is valued at $7 billion. So if Aurora was valued at the same as Afria, $7 billion, I think the stock price would be sitting at like $50, $60, $70. So we'll see how Aurora management execute. If Aurora management execute, billionaires could come back in and push the stock back to $50, $60, $70 in the future. But we have to hope that Miguel can turn the business around, can turn the company profitable. And we also have to hope that billionaires, for people who are still investing in Aurora, hope that billionaires pushed it back to $60, $70 into the future. But anyways, that is it for my video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for future updates and have a great day. Bye.